Hi folks, Nathaniel here at Chicago Music Exchange. Now, not so long ago, we did a quick riff video with a Byrdland that came with a custom ordered baritone switch, and you can check that out in the link below. And as you can see, we got another Byrdland. We got a 1967, and we're gonna have a look at this one a little bit more in depth. Now, we're gonna kick things off by looking at the actual origin of the name, the Byrdland. A lot of people seem to think that it came from the famous jazz club in Manhattan, but that is not the case. They're not even spelt the same way anyway. It comes about from Bill Byrd, Hank Garland, two famous guitarists who worked together with Ted McCarty, who was Gibson president at the time, and they all worked together to come up with what we know and love today as the Gibson Byrdland. Now, as both Garland and Byrd were, jazz-influenced guitarists, they held the Gibson L-5 CES in high regard. When McCarty got with them, I imagine that one of the first things they wanted to change about it was the thickness of the body in comparison to the L-5. The L-5 comes in at quite a chunky 3.5 inches, whereas this comes in 2.25. You could argue this makes it a lot more accessible and playable, particularly when doing certain chord voicings, bigger stretches and maybe some fast lead line runs. So they also asked for the scale length to be shorter at 23.5 inches. And also the nut width, which has gone from 1 11/16 to 1 5/8. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, sounds like quite a minor thing, but it's actually quite noticeable when you play it. The original patent number pickups sound great, and obviously this is kind of more of a jazz associated guitar, unless you're Ted Nugent, but it's actually a very versatile instrument, and hopefully we're going to showcase that a little bit in this video. So the guitar is all original, except from an added bone nut and a very nice refret. As you can see, it's in great condition, it looks spectacular. There is some minor off-gassing of the pickguard, which is still mostly intact. But it's a beautiful instrument. I've fallen in love with this over the past few days. Really comfortable to play in terms of the body. The neck took me a little bit of getting used to, I'll be honest, because it is quite thin. But once you kind of get to grips with it, so to speak, it is actually really comfortable. I mean, unless you've got slightly chunky fingers like me, really fun to play.